but the Taunt Warrior is pretty good as well. So we'll see which one is chosen. It is going to be the Recruit Warrior, so Roger feels like he wants to try and even up this series with his best chance at doing so. Seeping Oozling is already there in Roger's hand. We know how important that is to the deck. But sometimes with Recruit Hunter, you can just kind of draw into all of your big minions early on, and then suddenly these death rattles that are supposed to do so much damage just don't, because you don't have the minions to even be able to pull anything from those death rattles anymore. But that's not happened so far for Roger. And differently to the last game, Kin has a few more early game minions, and although I said that Stonehill Defender it's pretty weak in general, you can find bigger, beefier minions from Stonehill Defender, of course, and get that extra value. And there's always a chance, if you do finish your quest, if you do get Sulfuras equipped, the 8 damage, I mean, from your hero power can be enough just to get rid of these massive minions that do come out from Roger's deck. Charged Devilsaurs, King Crush, they all die. None of them have more than 8. Of course, if the Witchwood Grizzlies are pulled, yes, okay, they have more than 8 health, so that might come into effect if we even get that far, but there hasn't really been any early game dominance from Roger. But there very rarely is, I guess, for Recruit Hunter. The flanking strikes can make a big impact, but it's the fact that Kin's just been able to generate minion after minion and keep his hand at a healthy size as well. Keleseth found. I don't know how important Keleseth really is now at this point. Roger could probably do with finding a play dead or 2. Both would of course be optimal. But a brawl coming out is really important now for Kin, because it means he has an answer if a board does come wide from Roger. Are you silencing the Acolyte? Yeah, okay, silencing the Acolyte makes a lot of sense. Reduce draw potential from your opponent and try and stay ahead on board. And this is the thing, even though Kin's been playing minion after minion, Roger has the board back. Straight away, just like that. Because these minions have just been small, useless, really, just blockades. But what's important is at the bottom of your screens, that 4 out of 7, make that a 5 out of 7 now. I remember back when Quest Warrior first came around, Sulfuras, if you found it, and you got it out by turn 9 or 10, you did just have a chance of winning the game. It doesn't particularly work well against death rattles, and that's why I guess this is such a favoured matchup for the Hunter. And I have to say, I do question Quest Warrior being brought to this tournament. I think I might have said it before, but I will say it again. That being said, this game certainly hasn't gone southward very quickly. Kin has stayed in it to a point where Sulfuras is going to come into play as of next turn if he would like. There's that Pixie that we were talking about last turn as well. That means that at some point you can hit for 16 damage in one turn. Of course, that 16 damage is random, and you don't know where it's going to go. But that might be important when there's a King Crush and 2 Charged Devilsaurs, for example, just staring at you with their dino eyes. There is Charged Devilsaur number 1. I guess one of the benefits about getting the Devilsaur out now is it doesn't get the charge effect and doesn't get the impact. And also by killing a Death Rattle, it means it makes play dead less likely to be able to affect you. With Katrina also being on the board. I'm not sure Roger is too concerned, as now the pressure is really rising. But Brawl is there. Warpath available as well. I mean, you can Brawl and then hope that your hero power now hits what comes out of it. Because even though this Recruit Hunter does have some massive threats, it does run out of those threats quite quickly. Unfortunately, the Death Rattle minion survives, but Kin's hero power goes in the right direction. It goes face. And that is also something that can happen. The hero power can just go face over and over and over again. We've seen it before, but with Roger having Fireflies, Saronite chain gangs, he can build this board as wide as he likes. Now he's seen one Brawl. Hope there's not a second one and say, alright, well, surely your hero power has to hit one of these minions, but we can see Warpath there as well. There is the option of Acolyte first if you wanted to. I guess by Warpathing first, it means you can deal with 3 of these minions, and then you can hero power the surviving one. Or it can go face again. You never really know. If it hits the minion, it's probably not the end of the world, but the Witchwood Grizzly being drawn is somewhat of an issue. Because, of course, it has more than 8 health. Deathstalker Rexar picked up, and that's probably good timing now, because Roger is slightly running thin in his hand. Maybe he plays Devilsaur this turn, thinks about Rexar next turn. But you could go at this turn, and then you could build a Beast. But just putting the Devilsaur on the board does make sense, as Kin well and truly does have his back against the wall now. He's just going to start with a hero power. Yeah, not the best, but he does have the Pixie, so this is the big turn. The turn where he got those 2 chances of Die Insect, and then he hits the Devilsaur. Okay. Oh, this game is actually going right to the wire. For a matchup that is so heavily favoured for the Recruit Hunter, Kin's very impressively staying in this, and has the chance of winning. No way for Roger to push through lethal damage this turn. But can get bloomin' close. Hero power plus Rexar. Plus the minions on board. He's going to chunk Kin down a considerable amount. But he has to think about protecting his life total as well. And I think Rexar probably makes sense because of that. Or you can go down the route of just going wide. Play a Tar Creeper, play a Firefly, a Flame Elemental as well. And suddenly these quick turns have slowed down ever so slightly, as now Roger realizes of, oh, actually, I do have a chance of winning this game. I just really need to think about how these next couple of turns are going to go. How can I optimize my chances of staying alive and not being hit by this Die Insect hero power? And I'd imagine these little raptors are going to go face. Okay, he's just going to kill off. He is worried about whirlwind effects that we know are available. We can see Garrosh is there in hand, but you don't really want to be changing this hero power if you're Kin. I think your win condition probably is just this hero power. And actually now with the armor being drawn and Reckless Flurry available, you can go all out here. How comfortable are you at 4? You've seen the hero power disappear from Roger. So you're just hoping for no charge minion. And you can guarantee 8 damage to face. You put your opponent down to 8, which means your next shot could kill him, depending on what he puts on the board. Kin could win the series next turn. Oh, but Saronite Chain Gang is good. You can go wide now, Roger. And of course he can build a Beast. Any sort of healing would be ideal for him, but I didn't see any. And you've got to remember, Garrosh does come with a weapon as well. So there is that burst potential at any point. Hero power plus Garrosh. Roger. Yeah, just going to do what he can. 4 minions. 4 minions, and you think should be enough. So a 1 in 5 to win the game for Kin. And actually, what a win it would be. Especially considering I played down the chances of Quest Warrior against Recruit Hunter. You can draw first to see if you can find anything that can help. I think he's used both executes. Yeah, Blood Razor's not going to matter. And you are dead if you miss, I guess. I suppose you can play Phantom, play a couple of Phantoms afterwards. But here we go, 1 in 5, no, hits the Saronite Chain Gang, so you're going to have to go for the backup plan of Taunts. You do just about stay alive, but you are very scared of that Zombeast. What has Roger built? And what can Roger build following is... Oh, Lich King being drawn. That's a big draw for Roger, because he might be able to find a very impactful card coming out of Lich King. But we are going to start the turn building a beast. Lifesteal is good. And that's exactly what Roger's gone for. But not opting to play it this turn. Instead, the 9/9 Lich King, a minion that can soak up potential damage. And now this board is getting a little bit too big for Kin to deal with, because even if he hits the Lich King, or even if he hits... I think he has to just go for it. Does he have to just... Okay, armor can get you a little bit of armor. Kill off one of the minions, and then a 1 in 4 to win the game. That's so unfortunate for Roger. That is so unfortunate for Roger. I mean, credit to Kin for winning a very unfavourable matchup, but Roger had that so close to bringing back and taking that to a game 5. He did everything